I can't do it like Carlsen does it. Hi everyone, day 3 was today played in Grand Chess Tour in Poland. I'll show you a game between Bogdan Deák and Carlsen, and it's a great example how Carlsen squeezes his opponent. Let's jump quickly into the game. So Bogdan was white and he started with e4. Now Carlsen responded with e6, so-called French defense. d4, we grab the center here. d5, this is the main move in French. Knight c3 was played. Also playable is taking here and here, it's so-called exchange variation, or e5 is so-called advanced variation. Or we can even play knight to d2, which is so-called Tarrasch variation. But Bogdan opted for knight to c3. And here we can play either bishop to b4, or knight to f6, which is so-called classical variation, French classical variation. And here Bogdan opted for bishop to g5, and already now very nice move by Carlsen, h6. Actually in this position the main move is, or not the main move maybe, but one of the moves is bishop to b4, bishop to e7 because the threat was e5, or we can take here, and it's so-called Rubinstein variation. But very interesting move by Carlsen, h6. He wants to go out of theory and surprise Bogdan. Here of course if we go back, then g5 here might be unpleasant and black is better after bishop to g3. So white has to take. Now queen takes, and as you will see, actually this variation is sacrifice of a pawn, because now we can take. And yes, if here we take with a pawn, this would be bad variation for black. So actually the better move was played by Carlsen, bishop to b4. Now again we can take here, but it's not the best move for white. So Bogdan played good move, bishop to c4. Now we take the pawn, bishop takes, we castle. So black has advantage in development for the sacrificed pawn. Knight to e2 was played, rook d8, castle, we take the knight, knight takes, knight c6, now bishop takes, b takes, and so far from here we were following one game, Berkic-Lupulescu from 2021. But now for this move, actually Bogdan spent 10 minutes to figure it out. Knight e4 was played. Now queen takes the pawn. So now it's equal pawns, but black has double c pawns. So white is slightly better. Rook takes, queen takes, rook takes. And now knight has to go to g3 because it was attacked. And here we can find nice place for a bishop, which actually is e6 square. Rook f2 d1. Now nice move by Carlsen, c5. He wants to undouble his pawn if white takes like this, and actually this pawn here is quite strong. But Bogdan played b3, trying to prevent him from playing c4. And rook a2 d8 was played, rook e1. Here another good move by Carlsen, a5. So he is advancing his pawns. h3. We have to create a luft. And yes, and after this h3, I watched the time for both players, and Bogdan had only like 30 seconds from starting 25, and Carlsen had like 18 minutes for the rest of the game. Yes, and Bogdan is quite known for his time trouble. c4, very good move by Carlsen. Rook a to c1 was played. Now we undoubled our c pawn, which was very good. C b3, rook d2, and here Bogdan played a really strange move. He played rook to a1, very passive defending of a2 pawn. Better would be just to play rook to e2. Now if black takes, we can take with the knight, rook d2. Now knight can go to c3, which is quite well placed, but also knight f4 is playable. After bishop to f5 we can take the pawn and position is quite equal. And yeah, so let's return to the game. So actually rook to a1 was played. Now Carlsen played rook to b2, which is a good move. He wants to double. Knight f1, that was good move by Bogdan, you know, preventing him for doubling his rook and destroy him on second rank. c5, rook e to b1 was played. Here actually computer recommends rook to e5, but yes, Bogdan was already in huge time trouble and he didn't find the best moves. These rooks here are quite funny. So now Carlsen took the rook takes, and here this was very important moment. Actually, I think the moment that decided the game. After c3, Bogdan made not a blunder, but slight inaccuracy, and he took on c4. But better would be just to play knight e3. Here is nice line. After c3, we have to play rook to c1, rook d2. Now we take the pawn, rook takes, knight to c2 can be played, so we lock this rook here. Now if bishop takes, we can take the bishop, rook takes knight, and after rook to b8, king h7, rook to a8 is actually a draw. It's well-known draw that even with, let's say, after this, black cannot win this position, because if king comes here on this side, white will always check him from behind. So okay, Bogdan took the pawn, but now black takes the pawn on c4, rook c1, and here bishop has to return. Of course, it's very bad if we take here, because rook to a1 would actually win back the pawn, and this would be a draw. So Carlsen rightly returns to e6. Now f3, rook d3, and now a4 was actually another inaccuracy, and according to Stockfish, white is already -2, so 2 pawns advantage. Actually here Stockfish recommends knight to g3, and after bishop takes knight e4, f5, knight c5, rook d4, and rook to c3, and we create sort of defense on dark squares. But yeah, again, I think black is better here and should be winning. a4, rook a3, knight g3. Now we take this pawn on a4, knight e4, rook c4. Now, of course, if we take here, then actually this is game over. This pawn is too strong. So Bogdan played rook to a1. Now it's very easy technical stuff for Carlsen. a4, rook a3, we have to blockade. Now nice check on c1, king h2, rook c4. Again, we need to defend here. Knight c3, bishop d7. Overprotecting, of course, it was attacked, not overprotecting, but protecting. It was attacked, this pawn on a4 2 times. King to g3, f5, very nice move again by Carlsen, very technical. He wants to bring his king here, also wants to squeeze the white's king with f4, king f2, f4, yes, white king is almost trapped, h4, king f7, and now very nice plan. You will see if when king reaches here, it's actually game over, g3. Yeah, white desperately tries to exchange all the pawns and then maybe sacrifice knight for this pawn, and let's say if there are only no pawns and a rook and rook and the bishop, then this is theoretical draw. But rook to b4 was played, rook a2. Yeah, yes, the threat was to play here, and we must exchange. So rook a2 was a good move. Bishop to c6, knight e2, rook to c4, rook a3, king e6. Now we see this king march, rook d3, king e5, rook e3 check, king d6, knight f4, king c5, knight e6, and king to b4. Okay, we can, after this move, Bogdan resigned. Game could have continued, like if we take this pawn. Maybe you think this pawn is dangerous, but after a3, there is no way to stopping this pawn, and black would win this game. Yes, very nice game. Again, we can learn a lot from former world champion, but certainly the best player, the best current player, chess player in the world. So masterpiece again by Carlsen. And guys, hope you like this video. As always, thanks for watching. And please like, share and subscribe. And I'll see you soon in the next video. Bye.